Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 replay cast. Today it's a 1 vs 1 on Amazonia. It's a Warcraft 3 ArenaNet replay of the week. And up top we have our yellow native player, LawLiet. Down at the bottom we have our red undead player, Lucifer. And again, it is Amazonia. We're going to speed this up to the 2-minute mark of the game. When all the heroes come out, all the good stuff starts to happen. And we'll see what heroes these two get. Demon Hunter versus a Death Knight, and sped it up a little bit too much. There they go, running off at light speed. The Demon Hunter did creep out of this section here, got himself a Ring of Protection +2 and Slippers of Agility +3. So good old Ring of Selling, got himself 60 gold there, pretty much. And Demon Hunter gonna be scouting around the base and gonna try and get himself a Wisp kill. And will he be able to do that? Nope, gonna micro it into the mine, but he will lose a Skeleton Warrior. Gonna feed the Demon Hunter a little bit there, and a mana burn goes off on the Death Knight. Death Knight cruising around looking for some corpses for more skeleton minions, but a Wisp detonates on it, takes out both of them. And down at the bottom here, ghouls creeping out on behalf of the Death Knight, proxy creeping, but that lightning shield doing a lot of damage to those ghouls. They're trying to get out of there as fast as they can. Another rogue doing damage to his buddy rogue, but I suppose that's the life of the rogue. Everybody for himself. Ring of Selling +2 for the Death Knight, and the Demon Hunter sells his Ring of Selling, which does make sense as it is the Ring of Selling. A Manual of Health for the Death Knight there. And the last rogue will fall. The Demon Hunter moving about across the map, heading towards the undead base. And a couple archers gonna disrupt the Death Knight's creeping here. Kills the main creep there, gets the Mantle of Intelligence +3. A decent item, I suppose, for a Death Knight. All the mana a Death Knight could ever need. Demon Hunter gets himself trapped and bails out of there. Actually, just teleports himself to his friendly units, interestingly enough. And Renegade Wizards there fall. And all of that mana burn going down on that Death Knight. No more mana for our Death Knight. Demon Hunter now moving out across the map back towards his base. Death Knight gonna try and get the Kobold Taskmaster camp. Looks like he'll be able to do that without any issues, as our Demon Hunter is gonna be getting the Forest Troll Berserker camp.
Forces are under attack.
Taskmaster about half health there. Berserker falls, drops a Cloak of Shadows and a Manual of Health. Tome of Intelligence, and it looks like a replenishment potion for our Death Knight. And he uses that immediately to gain back a little bit of mana and a little bit of that lost health. Panda Brewmaster for the second hero for LawLiet. And now Death Knight's got to run a little bit here, escape that mana burn. Unable to do so. Naga Sea Witch for the second hero for Lucifer. The chase is on. Just ghouls right now, and ghouls a liability as they are so low and die so quickly. But just archers on the other side, so not too bad right now. But as soon as that Brewmaster gets a good breath of fire going, those ghouls are really just going to pay a lot of experience to those heroes. LawLiet doing a fairly good job there of body blocking the Demon Hunter, keeping him in the battle. And the Naga Sea Witch ice arrows. Another one going to slow him down temporarily, but he's ahead of the action. Has those boots of speed, so he's able to get away pretty quickly here. Now the Naga Sea Witch in a little bit of trouble. Very, very low. Demon Hunter going to come after. And may not make it out of here. 22 health on that Naga Sea Witch. Will lose the Naga Sea Witch. Gives the Demon Hunter another level. And now surrounds the Brewmaster successfully, but a ghoul will die here, and he replaces the ghoul there to try and keep that surround, but he wasn't really surrounded after that. I think he could have got out of the left, but he is sent on home. And now Death Knight in chase here. We'll take a look at the bases. Black Citadel coming up here. And moving out those obsidian statues now. Meanwhile, the Night Elf base here. Ancient Allures coming up. Dryads for our Night Elf player, LawLiet. And now going to go after the Kobold Taskmaster camp. But got to watch out. The Undead is here. And may try to steal a kill, but doesn't have quite enough mana for a Death Coil. Can't quite Death Coil steal here. Demon Hunter coming in and going to get a mana burn on the Death Knight. Does. Takes 50 mana away. Just had barely 50 at that point. Now the Demon Hunter is surrounded. We'll have to Town Portal out of here. Does so at the last minute at 10 health. And now the Taskmaster falls here. Replenishment Potion and a Manual of Health. But that Town Portal sends him home before he's able to pick that up. Now a free Replenishment Potion and a Manual of Health for the Death Knight. Sure, why not? I will certainly take that. Demon Hunter very, very low. No juice in the wells. We got some juice in this one, a little bit in the other one. Does not quite equate to a full health Demon Hunter, though. Death Knight did pop that replenishment potion, and now with the help of the Obsidian statue to heal him up. And now getting Ghoul Frenzy. 25% increased attack speed for those ghouls, so he's really going to commit here with ghouls for the rest of the game. And not too bad of a choice, as we do have a lot of Dryads out in the field and archers. So they do pretty good damage to those Dryads. Of course, they have unarmored, so they don't take additional damage for those melee attacks. However,
players' forces are under attack.
They do have fairly low health and no armor at all. Tome of Knowledge for the Brewmaster, Wand of Illusion as well. And looks like a third hero's out for the Undead. It gets a Frost Nova off in the face of that Demon Hunter, takes him down very low. And now the battle is on here at the Goblin Merchant. Looks like the Demon Hunter, or Death Knight rather, picked up another replenishment potion. But I think that's 3 for the Death Knight so far. He was really consuming those, addicted to his replenishment potions.
A player's
likes the high he gets from the mana and the health. On the Druid of the Claw, out in the field. And Renegade Wizard Camp will fall shortly for the Night Elf, but looks like it will fall first for the Undead. Scourge Bone Chimes for the Undead, and just the item that he certainly could use. I suppose you could ask for better, but not too bad, especially since he's going ghouls, especially with that Ghoul Frenzy. So now they attack even faster and gain health even faster from those melee attacks. But Ghoul does such low damage that they don't take to leech much anyway. 15% of 12 to 14 is not much at all, but any little bit should help. Why not? Combined with the extra regeneration of the Death Knight. Rock Golem Camp falls for the Undead. Gets himself a Potion of Greater Healing and a Tome of Intelligence. And now here comes the Night Elf player, and he just barely finished that camp before the Night Elf is there. And just a few ghouls in the group here. And they will fall quickly to that Breath of Fire, as I said earlier. Breath of Fire is just really going to rock those ghouls. And Demon Hunter falls to the Death Knight's Death Coil there. So now no more pesky Demon Hunter on the field. Brewmaster sends a unit home there. Death Knight very, very low, and the Brewmaster is right on him. Looks like he should be able to get away here, but the Dryads slowing him down. Death Coils that Crypt Fiend very, very low. Lost a Druid of the Claw, looks like to a Frost Nova. And now here comes the Demon Hunter. Good to go. Kills the Lich just about instantly. Gibbs him. And now the Death Knight in trouble here. See if he can get away. Has 81 mana, but the Demon Hunter cannot use Mana Burn right now. Does not have 50 mana to use that. And it looks like he's getting away. He's going to try and body block with the Wisp. Body blocks with the Wisp. Very, very nice. And out of nowhere, that body block. Now the Death Knight on creep here, going to regenerate super quick. But he was really low there. I think he was down to about 9 health. Demon Hunter dies again after he was Tavern revived. And now the Naga Sea Witch in trouble. And, oh, a Breath of Fire kills 2 heroes at once. I don't think I've seen that in a while. Very nice. And that levels up that Brewmaster good and nice. Gets an immediate level from that. And quite a bit, too. 1,000. I'm not sure how much he had before that, but now has 1,000 into level 4. We'll see if he Tavern revives the Demon Hunter or not. No, it looks like he's just going to Altar Revive. However, the Death Knight was Tavern revived, and there's a Shade cruising around the map following these heroes. Classic move. And Rock Golem Camp here going to be creeped out by the Night Elf, but Undead is on the way in transit here to disrupt this said creeping. Rock Golem will fall. And the Death Knight will not make it in time. Picks up a Potion of Greater Healing and I think a Tome of Agility, if I saw that correctly. And gonna leave behind a couple Mud Golems here and some Troll Trappers for the Undead, so that will serve him well. We'll get him level 4 there. And possibly level 3 on the Lich. And that'd be close. No, not quite, but nearly. Only needs 18 to level up. Mercenary camp is all empty. No more creeps there. Looks like we just have the Granite Golems on the map, and it looks like this one Troll Berserker camp left. And those Granite Golem camps take quite a bit to take them down. I did see a replay once where somebody had put a tower right here early on in the game, and actually used that tower to chip away at those golems. The golems can't quite get to that tower, so the tower just fires away the whole time. And you can just sort of change the firing of the tower so that it individually takes down all these golems to really low health, and then you just switch it to the next one and the next one and so on, and then you go and you actually finish them up and creep it out when they're all really low. A pretty decent little exploit trick, if you will. Demon Hunter level 3. We have a level 4 Panda Brewmaster from that double kill. 2, 4, and it looks like that Naga Sea Witch is still on the way, a level 3. So superior levels for our Undead and superior hero count as well. But we'll see if that is a blessing or a liability. If the Lich and the Naga Sea Witch, considering they're so weak, if they die very easily, will just end up feeding his opponent levels. And looks like the Night Elf may get this Troll Berserker camp. Either that or he may actually go for this Granite Golem. But that's going to be a battle and a half, especially if the Undead spies this. And that Granite Golem does chaos damage, really pummels your units good. And Undead, looks like he was going to go for that Troll Berserker, but didn't quite want to commit to that.
The player's forces are under attack.
And we'll pull these trolls back a little bit. We'll get level 3 on the Lich here. Looks like the Naga Sea Witch. Where is that Naga Sea Witch? Oh, in the group there. Didn't quite see her. And now level 3 on that Lich as well. So now I'll have level 2 Frost Nova, should he decide to grab that, which I certainly would. And now the Night Elf going after the Granite Golem camp in the bottom side of the map. And that Shade is cruising around the map looking for trouble. And Granite Golem here will fall for the Night Elf first. We'll see what drops here. It's going to be a Khadgar's Pipe of Insight. Gives Brilliance Aura to the Brewmaster and the Demon Hunter. That Brewmaster does have a Sabi Mask too. So that's going to be a ton of regeneration for that Brewmaster. That's going to be one scary Brewmaster for sure. Rock Golem falls here. Tome of Indulgence +2. And who's going to pick that up? Lich or the Naga Sea Witch? Nobody at the moment. Granite Golem falls shortly. And it drops an Ancient Django of Endurance.
A player's forces are
and
under
it looks
attack.
like our Death Knight actually sold those Scourge Bone Chimes earlier. So now he would have triple aura, which is always fun to have a hero with triple auras like that, or more, I suppose. But now we'll not have that ability, and I can see why he sold that. It sells for quite a bit, and the Abomination and the Ghoul is really the only melee he has other than the Death Knight, and so it really wouldn't serve him all that well. So the gold probably serving him more so than just 15%. But the Ancient Django of Endurance is very nice, particularly for the slow attacking Crypt Fiends, and, well, everything really. Demon Hunter in a little bit of trouble here, taking a Death Coil, a Frost Nova, and getting hit by the Frostworm at the same time. Frostworm trying to get out of there. And a cluster of a battle here. Nagasiwich in the middle of it all, and now being attacked by the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter gets sent home there by that Staff of Preservation, and Abomination will fall there. Gives a good chunk of experience to the Brewmaster. And now the Death Knight here, about halfway to death. Oddly enough, the Death Knight dying, and now going to teleport home here. The Death Knight there was trapped for a moment, so sort of panicked. Hit the panic button, sent him on home. Did not lose any heroes, though. Neither side did, so both sides doing pretty well in that engagement here. All these Dryads still totally full health and level 2 weapons. So quite well upgraded indeed on those Dryads. No upgrades for our undead. And that is sort of a common practice, though, in Warcraft 3. The upgrades aren't all that great. They certainly help, but a lot of people just end up skipping them, as it's sort of a different deal. StarCraft and Warcraft, two totally different animals. StarCraft, the upgrades help much, much more. Whereas Warcraft 3, they don't help nearly as much. Particularly the armor upgrades in Warcraft 3 don't help all that much, as the whole Warcraft 3 thing is damage reduction percentile rather than just a solid flat number. Invisible Brewmaster now in the base. And what kind of shenanigans are we up to? Dryads take out the mine there, the expansion of the undead haunting that gold mine, unable to complete that. Now the Brewmaster is in the base here and gonna go after the Acolytes here soon. And where is that Shade? Shade is on the map. Looks like it may be on patrol here up at the top, just going back and forth. And I usually would like to say that it'd probably be better to follow the heroes. If he was following the heroes, he would see this Brewmaster right now, and he would know that it's hiding in his base, or perhaps he would only be following the Demon Hunter. Who knows? But either way, Shade in the base, and he's seeing all the production, and even upgrading Nature's Blessing. That's interesting. And now both sides just sort of biding their time. An interesting downtime in the play here, and making some meat wagons, which is also interesting as well. And something I haven't seen in a long time is exhumed corpses, necromancers, and you don't see that too often in high-level 1v1 replays, as necromancers just really aren't all that good, and they end up feeding your opponent. All the skeletons that they create feed your opponent pretty well, and they die fairly easily as well. Sacrificial Pit here being sold, and now the Brewmaster going strong here, and he will teleport out of here. Gonna try and get some additional damage in before he actually teleports out. And we'll use the Scroll of Town Portal to get out of there. Now, selling some stuff in the base here for the undead. And now all the Acolytes back mining away. So now an additional few bucks there for the undead Lucifer. About 200 gold to 800 lumber, and you have about 400 gold to about 700 lumber, so much more gold floating right now for LawLiet. But a fairly intimidating army from Lucifer with that Frostworm and the triple heroes. Now a few meat wagons out. Meat wagons, siege damage against the unarmored armor of the Dryads, which is sort of a redundant term, unarmored armor, but whatever. It is Warcraft 3. Brewmaster here following the Tree of Eternity by the looks of it. slowly but surely following that Tree of Eternity. A very boring task. And Tree of Eternity going to be going to the gold mine here. So now the undead is going to intervene, try and stop that from happening. Wisp moving on out as well, seeing everything that's going on here, so he definitely knows that this is going to be an expansion soon. And good thing he does, as that expansion could have snuck up on him a little bit and allowed his opponent to get a big leap on the situation. 4 druids and a whole mess of dryads. Some spiders in the mix. Now a bunch of meat wagons. 4 meat wagons and the spiders all doing excellent damage to the dryads. However, he has much less meat, if you will, than the night elf, as 4 druids to just basically 1 abomination here. And now the meat wagon's firing away. And heroes moving in. Invulnerability potion on the brewmaster. Death Knight in trouble here, very low. And the Naga Sea Witch backing up here, also very low. Some of those dryads were focusing for a moment there. And now here are the Acolytes as well. Acolytes in the mix. Screw it, why not? And the Demon Hunter pots an Invulnerability Potion, is holding out for a little while. The Tree of Eternity's in on the mix, and Tree of Eternity's beating the hell out of that Death Knight. And the Demon Hunter falls at a very poor time in the match. Earth, Fire, and Storm. From the Brewmaster. And going strong now. I'm going to surround the Lich here. Lich in trouble and is going to get out of there. Needs the Death Knight's aura to move him a little bit faster. Loses that Lich. And now the Death Knight in a little bit of trouble himself. Cyclone on the Death Knight. Going to try and surround here. Should be able to get the surround. And the Fire needs to move over a little bit more. Death Knight now surrounded and will lose the Death Knight. But the meat wagons pummel that Dryad. Now just the Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch very, very low. 20 health in that Naga Sea Witch. And Naga Sea Witch needs to take out that archer there, as she may have been actually killed by that. And the Brewmaster leaves. Oddly enough, I think the Brewmaster could actually turn around and kill that Naga Sea Witch. 20 health is nothing really to fear. But, and also these meat wagons wouldn't really do too much to the Brewmaster as well. So oddly enough, he ran. And I think he should have stayed. The Tree of Eternity was killed in the fight. Undead now selling off some of the base here. Going to sell the Black Citadel. And I'm going to try and accumulate enough to get that Death Knight back out on the field. And does get just enough to do just that. Brewmaster now moving out. Sells the Sabi Mask, picks up a potion of invulnerability. Now going to move into the base here. And this could be bad here for the Naga Sea Witch. If he could just appear right next to the Naga Sea Witch, could easily take out that Naga Sea Witch. And there he is now. And I think he Breath of Fired first and then chucked the booze. I'm not sure. No, actually it looked like... No, and she's going to get inside of a Zeppelin. Really, really clever here to get away from that Brewmaster. And going to drop the Sea Witch and pick her up. Going to try and micro this. Meanwhile, the Brewmaster's just getting pummeled here by all of those meat wagons. Not sure if he has enough to actually be reviving that Demon Hunter. He is not. And he's going to send the Brewmaster on home. He's going to teleport on home. He's going to use these Moonwells to juice on up. And so now the Night Elf is in a little bit of trouble here. He can't expand, doesn't have a tree, and can't really make anything else. Just has the Brewmaster. I don't believe there's a single unit here. And still that Shade moving around there. And now some Wisps are coming down here. It looks like some final Wisps. And not sure what they're going to do. But he's going to try something here. And looks like that Breath of Fire was a little bit too far from that Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch has that Zeppelin to help her out and pick her up and take her to safety. Very, very clever. I actually didn't even think about grabbing a Zeppelin. And that's the difference between a pro player. And is that going to fall? It does. And he pops Earth, Wind, and Fire here. And now these units running for their lives from Earth, Storm, and Wind. Earth, Storm, and Fire. Oh my. I'm just all backwards today apparently. But gonna be trying to pick these individual units up here, save them for now, and loses the Zeppelin. And now the Sea Witch in big trouble here. And what is she gonna do about this one? Don't think she will survive this. Could buy another Zeppelin, probably. Looks like he has more than enough to do that. Loses the Sea Witch and will have to GG out. And just barely killed that Altar of Darkness before the Death Knight was out. If it was just a few more seconds, that Death Knight would have been out and the whole game would have been turned around. So a very, very nice game indeed. Replay of the week. LawLiet, the winner over Lucifer there. And very, very close. Right down to the nitty-gritty. Right down to the wire. And that Death Knight was nearly out. I'd say a couple seconds, if that. But I hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I'll see you guys next time.